so many restaurants you go to and you're just supposed to look at their work and you're like, wow, this is amazing. We don't smear stuff on the plates just to get your attention. We want it to taste good. I want to be able to lump that stuff down in 3 spots on the middle of it. And you go, wow, this is insanely great. This is good. This is gravy. It's delicious. It's delectable. You know, I'm not trying to make the Arc de Triomphe out of like cantaloupes on the table. A small organic fried chicken wing propped up against a mashed potato cube with, like, we don't do that crap in the South. This is mama food, you know? That's who taught me how to do it. My grandma would be like, why the hell is that asparagus leaned up that way? Vertically on your plate. What is that? So I'm sure I'm gonna just annoy all the chefs that I'm friends with that. And really much love to them for that. But at the Little Joe, I'll say right now, we're really concerned about what's on the plate, but not so much with plating.
My name is Clara Ritger, and I'm an amateur cook, professional eater, and documentary filmmaker. For 10 days, I took a train across the country to tell the stories of revitalizing communities through the lens of food. This is the Great American Cooking Story. My first stop is Chinatown. I came because food critic Jonathan Gold called it LA's hottest up-and-coming culinary scene, and I had to get a taste of it myself. But also, I was hungry for the story of how Southern food found a home in Chinatown.
When I first came here, Chinatown was sleepy. Little Tokyo was sleepy. Indeed, all of downtown was sleepy. And what was awake was like the Night of the Living Dead crack zombie scene of Skid Row, which was the whole city almost then. So what's happened is development is insane. I live downtown, just a few blocks away. Every single parking lot, there's a building going up now. Chinatown somehow got a late start on the development that has happened all around this area until recent years. It was on a slow decline, and then it went into a bigger one. And that mirrored the recession, the American recession. When the American recession happened, people ate out in restaurants less. Chinese food uses a lot of seafood. That's expensive. So I remember when people would go out to eat, Chinese food wasn't the thing they were going anymore because it was no longer cheap. So a lot of those businesses closed during that time period. The ones that were hanging on, the mom and pops. I wasn't looking at this from, this could be the next new spot kind of thing. I know a lot of people, they thought I was crazy when I was doing this, but, and I may be on some levels, but part of, I think, what's interesting about being here in Chinatown is how easy it was for me to make the transition of this kitchen in this old Chinese restaurant to a Southern kitchen. I'd say a fairly decent portion of what we do here is frying things in one form or another. That's a Southern staple. You know, it's not fried, it's not food. And the Chinese, our Chinese friends seem to have a similar opinion about the virtues of fried food. So in that ways, we're long lost brothers. There's 50 Chinese restaurants around here, and competition is tough. And they're all in a race to the bottom, as it were, price-wise with each other. And I think once they found out that we weren't opening yet another, Chinese restaurant, then they were actually cool about it. Because A, we represented variety into their community, like someone was coming and it wasn't yet again another empty store in a, sleepy, neglected part of the city. But also, I would say, because Chinese people like variety, they like it too. Like, who wants to eat, I'm from New Orleans. I don't want to eat New Orleans food every day, maybe every other day, but, you want to taste a little something of what the other guy's having every now and then. And I don't see why, people tend to always think that other cultures are only going to appreciate their own culture. It's ridiculous. So, no, I didn't receive that much hostility or derision or anything like that. And I think that the few times that people did bring up, oh no, China's going to get gentrified, the next part of that question is, well, the Chinese community pretty much and large has moved to San Gabriel Valley, up the freeway. Cultures and people, they migrate. They don't stay static all the time. It's not necessarily a bad thing, I mean, I'm Italian and Sicilian. Like, there's no little Italies left in any big city in America to speak of any size. But, we're not losing sleep about it. That means we've assimilated and we've become part of the fabric.
So maybe New Orleans food works in Chinatown because it's not really Chinatown anymore. Or maybe it works because it's just darn good food. Whatever the reason, we've got Marcus's grandma to thank for the little jewel, both for teaching him how to cook and for continuing to influence the restaurant.
I was a troubled kid by anyone's definitions in New Orleans. And my grandmother didn't care about all of that. She saw me as her grandson. And I had told her on a number of occasions that one day, it's cliched, but I'm gonna go out to Hollywood. I'm gonna have a bar and place of my own. I'm gonna have this or that. And she had said to me, because she knew that I was always interested in cooking and the details of the cooking that she was showing, that she said, well, whatever you do, I know it's gonna be a little jewel, so that's why. She passed away in 2003. The storm was in 2005. And in between those couple of years, I was just wrecked. She was the world to me. Oddly enough, when Katrina came, which was so devastating to myself and our entire community, I was relieved that she didn't have to see any of it. If I could take the home that I've chosen, which is Los Angeles, the home that I love, this place, and if I could communicate with them a page or a piece of what I grew up with, of what existed when I was young, and take them to another place and give them a little bit of what we're about, then I'm happy right there.
In a way, Chinatown's exotic new food scene is the deepest and most authentic expression of what Chinatown is all about. It's a place where people go to be transported to a faraway land. One step outside, and you're yanked back into the reality of life in America. People are homeless. Wealth inequality is never not on your mind in a changing neighborhood. It's a problem Chef Royce Burke thinks about a lot.
Areas are always going to develop, gentrify, get nicer. We all want to have a nice coffee shop down the street where we can get a good coffee. But if we can have that and have it be something that can be affordable for everyone in the area, then I think you can avoid a lot of the reasons that there's so many clashes between local population and the hipsters, or whatever you want to call people who are moving into different areas. The things that move into areas first, as they start to gentrify, they can become kind of the dividing line. No one locally can afford anything that's opening, and so it immediately causes a line between people who are coming into the area because of those things and the people who already live there.
I'll admit it. In my mind, I never imagined that the recipe for harmonious revitalization involved soy chais. So I asked Royce for the secret. How does a coffee shop make a profit without becoming one of the hipstery places that locals wouldn't be caught dead in?
We do a lot of things in-house. We make all of our bread in-house. We do milk bread for grilled cheese and brick toast. The milk buns for all of our sandwiches and burgers, which it tastes like what the dinner rolls your grandma used to make for Thanksgiving. They're just really good. I'm always looking for new local suppliers, new produce, people who are growing shit around here that I can use. There's a lot of that happening in LA right now. The Lar Burger is the one that's gotten the most press, and that's based on a Lar Burger that they do at the 7-Eleven in Thailand, which is a totally different thing than 7-Eleven is here. Here is obviously not the first place you would think of for a really awesome snack. And then the fucking nasty has gotten a lot of good buzz too. People seem to like it. It's just really, really good ground beef. And a Thai-style crispy fried egg, which is fun because it makes lots of flames. It's fatty, juicy burger with this runny egg on it, and it's a really gnarly, awesome flavor. And so I said it's fucking nasty, and that's what we ended up sticking it up there. And I think the most fun part of calling a sandwich that is seeing customers either say it or skirt around it. I just want to create really good food, big flavors, crazy flavors that aren't insanely expensive and don't immediately price out the entire neighborhood, which is the direction a lot of places have been going in Los Angeles lately. Everyone knows the story of gentrification, how it happens, but I think it's possible to make a profit without gouging people. I'm hoping it's possible. It's a frustrating dilemma to talk about because it's inevitable. I mean, it's like, it's the course of progress. Like people are always trying to move into a new neighborhood where there's cheaper rent, start something new, get off the ground. It's the evolution or everyone's chase for the American dream or whatever, even just trying to have a great little coffee shop or great food or whatever it is. I think it's a natural thing. People are going to constantly be trying to do that. I just hope that more people can follow in the footsteps. Like, one of my biggest inspirations doing this has been what Roy Choi's been doing in LA, and just like respecting the cultures that are here and not supplanting them, but adding something and giving something back to the community. I hope that's where Chinatown continues to go, because I hope it becomes a neighborhood that's known for just really good chefs, food, and food that you can afford to eat every day. And that's what I hope we can be a part of.
I came to Chinatown skeptical of change. But it feels like the agents of change, the chefs bringing new cuisine to the neighborhood, have the community's best interests at heart. Or maybe I was just won over by the food. I don't know. I think I need to go back and try it again.
It's still the Wild West out here.
Good ingredients, good food, good prices.